Hi, today we're going to talk about our project, which is a carbon neutral platform. I'm Jose Cordero,
I'm Paul Romero.
and our advisor is Dr. Reza Paragabagar. So, a little bit of the agenda for today. We're going to start talking about the background of our project, then move into the problem statement and the specific purpose of the project, then discuss the design steps we took, and then discuss the results with a website demonstration and go into the economic analysis, and then at the end we're going to discuss the future plans for the project. So a little bit of the background of our project. We started thinking about global warming, which is the observed increase in average temperatures of the Earth's atmosphere and oceans, and how it has become a worldwide concern. Finding a solution to global warming has proven to be a very challenging task. Governments have tried implementing solutions but have failed to do so effectively. As a result, corporations have been forced to absorb or transfer the cost of unsuccessful environmental regulations, and meanwhile the individual consumers remain frustrated, wishing they could find ways to help the environment. After discussing the problem of global warming, we started thinking more about carbon emissions and carbon neutrality, and how scientists have found a direct relationship between the carbon emissions and global warming. Carbon emissions are the primary greenhouse gas emitted into the atmosphere by human activities. After researching a little bit about carbon emissions and specifically the carbon neutrality, we decided to focus our project on that topic.
Now we're going to talk about the problem statement. Carbon concentrations in the atmosphere are responsible for problems with human and environmental health, the destruction of ecosystems, and our current biggest threat of climate change. Many people are aware of the problems we face regarding the carbon levels in the atmosphere, but consumers and industry are often not on the same page. Consumers who are aware and want to reduce their carbon footprint struggle to find ways and options to do so. The purpose of this project is to develop a website that will connect consumers interested in carbon neutral products with companies that offer carbon neutral products or are interested in the subject. The website will serve as an information platform for consumers and industry on carbon offset projects, carbon credits, and the overall idea of carbon neutral products or services. Now we're going to talk about the design step. We follow the DMAIC process in our project, and the first step is define. To create that website that will meet the desired requirements of connecting consumers to industry, as well as serve as an information platform. The platform will include the 3 Ps, which are people, planet, and profit. With the people, there will be 2 main objectives, which will be increase awareness on the carbon neutral topic through information, and also connect consumers and industry interested on carbon neutral projects, products, services, and sustainability. For profit, the website will generate revenue through advertisements and also through a fee that can be charged to include a company's products and services in the website. The planet part, the goal is to help reduce the carbon footprint in the atmosphere by encouraging consumers and industry to invest in the topic of carbon neutrality and realizing the small changes in their lifestyle or operating procedure can lead to enormous changes in the carbon footprint. The next step is measure. After defining clear goals for the information platform, the team proceeded to research on different alternatives on which software could be best to build the website. The first option was Amazon's Web Services, or AWS. AWS is a cloud-based services that enables members to build their web applications using cloud computing. The team investigated about Amazon and AWS, but the cost-to-benefit ratio was not in line with the goals for the project and the website. The team then proceeded to research for more alternatives, including Microsoft Visual Studio, Squarespace, Wix, and WordPress. After carefully analyzing each alternative, WordPress was the final choice. WordPress allows the website developers to pay for services depending on the views and clicks received, which is ideal for the goals and objectives the team set for the duration of the project. It also has a great reputation and reliability, providing a platform for companies like BBC America, Best Buy, and Forbes. After deciding that WordPress was the appropriate platform to build a website, the next step was to develop an outline to organize the content, taking into consideration the goals for the website and also the needs for its future users. The next step was analyze. The analyze stage was the most time-consuming and challenging part of the project, but it was also the most satisfying. This is the stage of the project where the team built the actual information platform. The first step was to find the online tutorials in order to build the best possible website. This was a long process of getting to know the word process, how word process works, and learning about available features and alternatives that could be used to develop and lay out the website. The team constructed a pilot test website in order to practice and try different layout alternatives to see which one would be the best meet the requirements and goals set on the defined stage of the DMAIC process. After the pilot test was complete, it was time to fill the website with content. The next step would be improve. After the team built all the sections, created the connections for navigating through the information platform, and adding content to each section, the team met with the academic advisor to make revisions and improve the website. This step provided guidance. The changes were most likely directed towards the layout and navigation throughout the website to make the design more ergonomic and ultimately improve the user experience. The final step was control. The team will have periodical website revisions in regard to content, making sure the information tab is updated, and track the traffic and find ways to increase traffic on the website.
The IME classes used were in this project were IME 303, Project Organization and Management, Engineering Economics, Human Factors, Data Systems Management and System Design, and Production Planning and Control System.
Okay, the next tip we'll talk about is results. Here we'll have a website demonstration. Now we're on our website, which is carbonneutralplatform.com. This is the home page, and here we have our latest news, which will be updated by weekly news articles. And click here to go to our information and news tab. Over here we have our mission article blog, and if you click here, you have our mission and vision. Going back to our home page, we have our subscribe to our mailing list, which would be a monthly. You would get a newsletter. Then we have information on what is carbon neutral, what is carbon credit, and then here we have business benefits. You click here, you'll be directed to industry.
So this is our industry tab where we have projects. So if a company is interested in starting a project to reduce the carbon footprint, they can click on start a project. We also have case studies that have been done in the past of carbon neutral projects. We also have a click for companies to see the Dow Jones Sustainability Index and see how the largest companies in the global stock rate in terms of sustainability, and also a calculator where they can calculate the business carbon emission output. We also have a page for consumers where they can find environmental projects that have been done around the world, either by Neutral Capital Partners, which is a carbon neutral company, or by COTAP. We also have some easy steps to reduce an individual's carbon footprint, calculator to calculate an individual's carbon footprint, and the global 100 most sustainable companies around the world. We also have a tab for carbon neutral alternatives. So if the individual is interested in looking at products or services that have achieved carbon neutrality, he can look at either products around the world that are carbon neutral, and also companies, if they have a product that is carbon neutral, they can add their product, or they can add their product here. Same for services. We have, for example, UPS, which has a carbon neutral option, so you can pay to neutralize the carbon emissions of your shipment, as well as Avis, and we have other services that provide a carbon neutrality option. On the carbon neutral alternatives page, we have a definition of what are carbon zero or carbon neutral alternatives, and links to redirect them to the products and services. We also have here I found out more information about carbon offsets, and if they click read more, they'll be redirected to the information news page where we have more news and articles about sustainability and carbon neutrality. And we also have a video, a video section where we're going to put more videos. And for example, we have one for talking about the Paris Climate Conference in 2015 and what changes were made and what that means specifically for business, and how they can transform their business to become carbon neutral, and basically how to get there. We also have a contact page where they can contact us with the email, and yeah, that would be our website. Now we're going to talk about the economic analysis. So this is a cash flow we created for the economic analysis. First, we have some stable costs, which are the labor costs, which we established at $20 per hour. The cost to set up the domain, which was $18, and the domain maintenance, which was $12. We also have another WordPress monthly cost, which is $12 for maintenance, and we also have assumed that we're going to get $1 per click on advertisement, and we're going to charge on the first part of the project $10 for adding the product and service to the site, and 25 on the second part. So we decided to do the economic analysis in 3 scenarios, which are pessimistic first, most likely second, and we also have optimistic scenario. So we created researching information on similar websites and how their progress has been made through the months, and also WordPress sites that have recently started and track their progress. So on the month 0, we are going to invest 200 more hours for the project, and so on. These are the predicted hours spent each month. These are the predicted monthly clicks that we're going to get from advertisement and products added. And then we estimated the cost and the revenue, and the pessimistic scenario came out to be a total of $21 after the 12 months of the project, so it's still a viable option, even in the pessimistic scenario. For the most likely scenario, same thing happened, but we also added a cost of marketing and website exposure that we are going to spend $100 on these months on getting website exposure, either to search engines or through advertisement, and that was also included into the calculation of the cash flow analysis. And for the end of 12 months, this cash flow has a net present value of $691 for the most likely scenario, and for the optimistic scenario, same procedure as above, and the cash flow has a value of $1,508. We decided that this project was going to be a non-profit website, so any profit that would come out of the website other than would be donated to funding student projects related to sustainability, and also funding any type of project that would basically help the environment. Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about future plans. The next step would be to approach companies to add more products or services, update content with latest news, continuous improvement on website, increase website exposure through different channels, advertisements, and search engines. And that concludes our senior project. Any questions?